How's it going, everyone? I'm back with another review. Today I'm talking about a 2023 Indonesian horror film, Bayi Ajaib. And I apologize if I'm butchering that, by the way. It feels like it's been a minute since I dipped into Indonesian horror, and I'm glad I did because movies like this remind me why I love it. Directed by Reiko Prajanto, it's actually a remake of a 1982 Indonesian horror film of the same name. Actually, there's been quite a few remakes in Indonesian horror the last little while. Not that that's a bad thing. And the title in English translates as Magic Baby. It's probably just as well they kept the original title, not just for the more obvious and immediate superficial reasons, but also because magic is not the first word I would necessarily use to describe this particular baby. This movie was atmospheric, well-paced, surprisingly well-acted, well-written, and gleefully nasty in all the right ways. The plot involves a man named Kosim, who is very well played by Vino G. Bastian. He has just started to enjoy a recent wave of success in both professional and personal fronts, until a demon possesses his baby and ends up having consequences not just for him and his family, but for his entire village. Look, I'll admit it. I have an unfortunate tendency to just kind of write off demonic possession horror movies as being a dime a dozen, okay? I felt pretty confident that an Indonesian horror movie wouldn't do me wrong, but I still started the movie with some apprehension after I read the synopsis. But my worries were very short-lived. Not only does this movie avoid the more cliched stock approach to this particular subgenre, but it's just a mean, bloody good time, with a tongue-in-cheek tone and style that's very reminiscent not only of Sam Raimi, but also Creepshow and Tales from the Crypt as well. The village location and its natural surroundings really create a superb atmosphere. It gives you the feeling that this really is an isolated village that is in fact self-governing. The movie explores the way that politics play out in a small-scale environment like a village very convincingly. Some of it honestly almost feels like documentary authentic, and given that the movie is set and filmed in Indonesia, I mean, it probably is. And from a horror perspective, it lends a very fraught, claustrophobic dynamic to the proceedings. Everyone and everything is connected, so when you drop a demon into the mix, the entire community is at risk. As for the demon, I enjoyed everything about the concept behind it, and I also liked how it was a demon that could actually inflict direct physical pain and suffering. It can actually do damage. It's not just an abstract boogeyman. There's even a specific reason that I won't spoil behind why it's attacking people precisely the way that it does. The demon is also distinctly manipulative, and it often needs to be in order to get what it wants. And I liked that. I liked that the demon sometimes had to use other people. I liked that there were at least vaguely defined limits to its powers and its reach. The more I think about it, actually, the whole dynamic of a small community turned against each other and imploding feels very Stephen King. But hey, I did mention Creepshow earlier, so there you go. As for the actual physical construction and design of the demon, that's a little bit more of a mixed bag for me. Sort of hard to get into in detail without spoiling a couple of things, but I will say that sometimes it's relatively okay, like it kind of looks like that classic Raimi demon. But there are other elements to its appearance and its physicality that are kind of unintentionally hilarious. It's not bad exactly, it's just really weird. To the point where I'm almost wondering what they thought when they were watching the rough cut. And the only thing I can come up with is that maybe it was just done this way out of respect for the traditional mythology that they were drawing on. I don't want to dwell on it forever because it never sunk the movie for me, but let's just say it was an adjustment. The slow, deliberate way that the demon chips away at the community that it's infiltrated, that manipulative quality, that sort of cerebral characteristic, that's the part that really leaves an impression on me. But it doesn't hurt that when the demon starts tearing into people, literally, it's like something straight out of old school horror comics, but with modern levels of gore effects competence. Where it counts and where it really needs a money shot, this movie absolutely scores. I've been vague on further details of the story, and I'm going to keep it that way for your enjoyment. But I do want to mention that the movie ends in a way that it successfully pulled the same trick on me that Leigh Whannell did so well in Upgrade, where the movie lulled me into thinking that it was finally succumbing to a very lame, cliched ending, only to pull the rug out from under me, and even then, in this case, the movie still applies one more twist after that, like it doubles down. It's an awesome 1-2 punch to go out on, and it pretty much elevated the movie from being good to great in my book. It's one of those endings that makes you want to rewatch the movie immediately, and just on a more immediate visual level, it also just looks fantastic. Needless to say, I highly recommend this movie. I thought it was a blast. Indonesian horror continues to dazzle me. Thanks for watching, guys, and keep your eyes on the channel for more content soon. Have a great day.